Hello children, hope you all are fine. So today we will be starting the revision session. What does it mean? Actually this revision session includes the whole chapter within few minutes. We will just see the summary as a summary of the lesson where we will discuss each and every concept in detail. Let's check out children. First, if you remember, we have started the lesson with the basic concept of carbon. Yes, what does carbon, what is actually is the structure of carbon? We have studied that carbon, the atomic number of carbon is 6. Yes, the atomic mass number is 12. And the electronic, while writing the electronic configuration, the first shell has 2 electrons and the next one 4. So 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Those were the basic things about carbon. The very important part of this chemistry is versatile nature of carbon. When this question arises children, see that you remember QT pi. You have to remember this. That means CUTIP. You have to remember this, where C represents catenation. Carbon has the property of catenation, that means it combines with carbon to form long chain of compounds. So second one is unique behavior. What does U for unique behavior? What does this unique behavior means? Carbon not only combines with carbon, but it has the tendency to combine with any other atom. It may be hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, any of the other element. It combines and again it forms long chain of compounds. So T means tetravalency. What is the valency of carbon? 4. The word tetra means 4. That means carbon combines with only 4 elements or 4 atoms to combine long chain of compounds. The last one is P, that is P represents polymerization. Polymer, you have to remember poly. Poly means many. When small units, that is monomer, combines with other monomer, they combine together to form a long polymer. For example, let's take a monomer it. If it combines and combines, it forms long chain. It's going to form polythene. Ester, it's going to combine to form polyester, what we call as we use the fabrics. So the next one is 3 allotropes. The 3 allotropes which we have studied are diamond, graphite, fullerenes. Diamond is the shinier one. Then graphite is the greyish one which is used in the pencils. Fullerene, and you have to remember F for fullerene and F for football. The structure of fullerenes is like a football. The next part of the lesson, we have the IUPAC system, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, where we have the carbon. You have to keep in mind this, if you know, this whole thing if you know, you can label or you can name any of the compound which is given in your paper. The 3 compounds will be given. You have to name the compounds. So let's see, if in the compound there is 1 carbon atom, you will label it as meth. If it has 2 carbon atoms, eth. If it has 3 carbon atoms, prop, 4 carbon atoms, bute, and it's so on. 5 is pent, 6 is hexane, hex, 7 is hept, 8 is oct, 9 is non, and 10 is decade. So in this case, if it is there is only single bond in the whole compound, there is only single bond and there are 1 carbon atom, so it will be methane. So if there is double bond, that is alkene. Single bond, alkane. You have to remember A, E, Y. A comes first in alphabet series, next E comes and then Y. So if in a compound there is single bond, it is an alkane. If it is double bond, it is an alkene. If there is triple bond anywhere, it is an alkyne. You have to remember this. How you can identify the compound? The main functional group, the main reactive part of the compound. If there is OH in the group, you are going to label it as an alcohol. If it is COH, you will label it. You have to just check at the last, the group will be mentioned. If it is COH, it is an aldehyde. It is COOH, it is a carboxylic acid. CO, it will be a ketone. R, CO will be there and both the sides are R. What does this R means? R means any other group. It may be methane, ethane, butane, any other group will be attached. That is the sweet smelling compound which is ester. If in the compound, along with all this, there will be some different symbols like different halogens. Fluorine, we have chlorine, bromine. If there is F, you are going to you have to remember that it is fluoro, Br that is bromo, and Cl that is chloro. So you have to remember this whole chart in order to label the compounds. The next part of the lesson, we have the very important part. It's considered as a very important part, that is chemical properties of carbon. What does chemical properties means? It combines with any other element or atom to form a new compound. So it undergoes 4 types of chemical changes or chemical reactions are there. First one is combustion. Yes, combustion means if I take any incense stick, if I'm burning it, that is combustion. If I take a log of wood, I'm burning it, that is combustion. What actually is happening there? Burning of here in carbon compounds, burning of carbon in air. The air, the main gas which supports burning, that is oxygen. So in combustion, there will be burning of carbon in air. That means carbon, any of the carbon compound will react with oxygen. In the next reaction, we have oxidation. The carbon compounds undergoes oxidation where addition of oxygen will be there. You will find addition of oxygen. Directly oxygen won't be added. You are going to find any of the we are going to find like any of the compounds or any of the media occurs which has a more amount of oxygen in it. For example, it may be potassium dichromate, then we have potassium permanganate. It has more amount of oxygen into it. So you will find that there will be addition of oxygen. So next reaction, that is addition. In this addition, catalyst will be used. Mainly nickel, NiCkel. Nickel catalyst will be used, which is going to enhance the reaction, and you are going to find mainly there will be addition of hydrogen. The last reaction, that is substitution. Like for example, any of the teacher is absent. Yes, I have told you earlier. So what mainly is done in our school? Any other teacher is substituted in the place of the absent teacher. Same way, replacement of an atom or a group of atom. There will be a reaction where any of the element will be replaced. So that type of reaction is known as substitution reaction. Did you get it, children? The next part, these are the very important parts. Look at the first one. What type of question will be asked directly? They won't be asking what is ethanol, but there will be some differentiation. How ethanoic acid is different from ethanol. So you have to list out the points how it is different. So let's go for ethanol as OL. It consists of OL, that means it is an alcohol. So colorless, it is a colorless liquid. It has a distinct smell, very different smell it has. Then burning taste. Burning taste means when anything chapati or anything is burned, what type of taste you get? Same taste you are going to get when you taste this liquid. So soluble in water. When you add it into the water, it's going to be miscible. It is obviously it is liquid, so when you add into water, it's going to be miscible. Neutral, it's not going to show any kind of changes, but it has it's a very neutral liquid. Last one, the formula. Ethanol. It means, as I have told you earlier, it will be having 2 carbon atoms. Look at this. It has 2 carbon atoms, and OH group, that means it is all. That means these are the properties of ethanol. Let's go further. Ethanoic acid. Noic means it is an acid. Eth means it will be having 2 carbon atoms. Let's see the properties. First one, it is also a colorless liquid. It has a pungent smell. Pungent means what? The pungent is equal to the smell of a chili. When mother fries chili, you get a very pungent odor. When you start sneezing, you start coughing. That type of pungent smell ethanoic acid has. It is soluble in water. That means when you add it into the water, it's going to get miscible. The next one is a chemical property. Any acid, you have seen in 7th standard that any acid when it's react with base, you will remember it as SWC. That means you will get a salt, you will get water and carbon dioxide. Acid plus base reaction, you have already studied in the previous classes. The products formed are salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Last one, ethanoic acid. Under ethanoic acid, you are going to remember, keep in mind esterification. Esterification, as the word says, there will be formation of ester. So ethanol plus ethanoic acid gives ester and water. This reaction you should keep in your mind. Be prepared with this type of reaction. Then we have soaps. You have to remember the soap, the differentiation between the soaps and detergent. So first differentiation is, it is hard water. Kind of, if I'm going to take I'm going to say hard water, again don't get confused that hard water is ice. No, it's not ice, but the hard water is the water which contains lots and lots of mineral salts. So these soaps like Dove, we use Medimix, these kind of soap, when we rub on the body and when we use hard water, you will find white color powder onto your body. So that type of water actually is hard water. What happens there? Soaps cannot be used in hard water. It is very difficult to get used in hard water. Whereas detergents like Tide, Surf Excel, we have other type, various Ariel, so they can be easily dissolved into water. Soluble, it is very difficult to be, when you rub your soap onto your body, it becomes very difficult to remove that soap from the body. Yes, whereas detergent, once you take off the cloth, it's going to get the water, it's going to get rinse off very easily. So in the case of soaps are less soluble, or they are not soluble in, less soluble, you can say, they are least soluble in water, whereas detergents are soluble in water. Last one is, but there is one good point about soap, the Dove or Medimix, the soaps which we use, they are all biodegradable. That means they are eco-friendly. Eco-friendly means even though the soaps, the water goes into the rivers and all, it's not going to harm the environment. But when the water from detergents like Ariel, Tide, it goes into the rivers and seas, it's going to harm the nature. Why? Because it contains less amount of chemicals, whereas these detergents like Tide, Ariel, they contain more amount of chemicals. Last part you have to remember, that is micellar arrangement. If you have any stain on your clothes, how does it washes away? Yes, when you put Tide detergent into water or any of the detergent into water, what actually happens there? There will be two ends. One end will be hydrophilic and other end will be hydrophobic. Philic means they like water or they dissolve into water. Phobic means they hate water or they run away from the water. So can you see the dots? These dots represent the hydrophilic water. They will be freely moving into water. But these ends are hiding into the water because they hate water. They do not get dissolved into water. They dissolve into some sort of reagents. So when you add detergent into water, what is going to happen? These ends, they try to come closer because they hate water, so they try to find kind of support. So during that process, wherever there are stains onto the clothes, pen mark, or you will find oil mark on stains onto your clothes, they try to hide under the stain, and during that hiding process, they remove the stain out of the cloth. So this type of arrangement, where one is the hydrophobic, end is the hydrophilic, which likes water, which dissolves into water, and the other end is hydrophobic, which hates water or it does not dissolve into water. This type of arrangement is known as micellar arrangement. I hope, children, this is going to help you out. This is a kind of last minute revision, because once you revise all these things, you will remember the concepts, and it will be very easier for you to revise. You will get the correct idea what actually is there in the lesson. Thank you.